Well, hello everyone. So tonight we have some diced ham, onions, we've got some garlic, we've got capers, we've got crushed tomatoes, we have green olives and black olives. We're going to make a nice dish here. We're going to put a little olive oil into our pan. It's nice and warm. We've been heating it up. So put a little olive oil in there, and we are going to saute our ham. We want to get a little brown on the outside of that ham. So the olives we're using are Kalamata olives and green olives. These are our Kalamatas. Now you have to be careful when you are cooking something like this that you don't use too much salt, because your olives are very salty. We're going to put our onions in. And we made some pasta earlier. We've got some tri-colored pasta, colored with spinach, colored with carrots, and then just white pasta. So you hear how this is cooking. It's frying nicely. We're starting to get a little bit of color on some of these pieces of ham. So we want those to saute nicely. I've got this beautiful new pan I'm using. It's all clad, stainless steel, made in the USA. It's got a layer of copper and it's got a layer of aluminum in it, and so it heats very nicely. So if you look here, you see we're getting a little bit of brown on the bottom of the pan. It's getting a little bit sticky. And our onions aren't quite getting clear. We want those to be clear. So we're going to add just a touch of water. There we go. So we've deglazed our pan a little bit, and you see most of that water evaporated, and now we're sauteing again. So we'll put our garlic in. Saute that. We've got a delicious smell. Very nice fragrance. So you see we're back to frying now. So if your pan gets a little bit too hot, gets ahead of you, you just add a little bit of water, and then once that water vaporizes, your pan has been cooled down a little bit, and you go back to sauteing. So we've got a little bit of brown over in the corner here. We'll put a little bit more water in over here. You have to be careful with garlic that you don't blacken it. We want it to be browned nicely. We want everything to be browned. As you see here, it's turning out nicely. And now it's time to put a little bit of white wine in there. I'm using a Sauvignon Blanc. You can use Pinot Grigio. You can use just about any dry white wine if you like. So the alcohol is disappearing, and what we're left with is the flavor. So when you cook, you always want to use a good quality wine, because the only thing you will have left is the flavor. You won't have the alcohol to cover for it. So the better the wine, the better the dish. So our wine is just about gone, and now we're going to put in our tomato pulp. This one, chopped tomatoes, comes from Italy. I like that particular brand, but there are many other good brands that you could use. So that's cooled down our pan a little bit. So we'll let that come back up. Notice it's starting to simmer just a little bit. We're going to put in some black pepper. And we can always add more later. Again, we're not going to put any salt right now because our olives are very salty and our capers are very salty. So we don't want to end up with a dish that's too salty. Now we're going to put some rosemary in here. Got this fresh rosemary. Just break that off and put that in there. Rosemary is very good for your respiratory system. They say it's good for your memory as well. And we're going to put some oregano in here. Oregano is very tasty. Oregano is very good if you have a little bit of a cold coming on. That oregano, I find, often helps forestall that. So you see our sauce is pretty thick here. It looks nice. We're going to put our olives in. We've got our green olives. I cut those in half. The calamatas I did not cut in half. And then we have our capers. All right, let's have a little taste, find out. How it tastes. That's good. All right. So, let's get our noodles and put this to the test. Here's our dish looking mighty nice, mighty tasty. I layered it in. I put pasta, then I put the sauce, then I put more pasta, and then more sauce. We've got a nice glass of red wine here, and this is a perfect way to prepare something quick when you don't have a lot of time. So this is perfect for a nice summer afternoon, or when you get home late and you don't have a lot of time to prepare an expensive meal, or a meal that requires a lot of time. This is a perfect meal. You can get this ready in about 10-15 minutes. This is tasty. Thanks for watching. Bon appetit, and until next time, Chef Jacques.